Okay, good morning. So we have started the topic flower. In the first lecture, we have seen about the types of the flowers are there. So today we are observing about the corolla. So forms of the corolla, generally polypetalous, in which we are observing the cruciform and papilionaceous corolla, and second gamopetalous, that is fused petals. In polypetalous, petals are free. So there are two types, infundibuliform and the labiate corolla. Then second reproductive structure, we are observing about the first one is also the calyx is also there, right? Then in androecium, structure of stamen, fixation, cohesion, and the adhesion of the anthers are there. Then gynoecium, structure of carpel, then types of the placentation, right? So in the corolla, first one, we will start from they are composed of the petals. Commonly part of corolla, it is the petal. Generally these are bright colored, they help for the pollination. And the gamopetalous corolla means petals are fused, and polypetalous means the petals are the free, right? So here you are observing in the rose part, the petals are the free, whereas in the hibiscus petals are free. So polypetalous, right? Then second example, here you are observing, this is the musanda, good example. So corolla, generally petals are the free. Here this is the LS of the flower, or the vertical section. Yes, so it shows the position. So stalk of the flower, pedicel, thalamus, on which floral parts are developing. In some flowers, nectar is present at the base of the ovary. Then green sepals. Then there is the petals are there, yellow colored, and there is a part of the carpel, it shows the LS, the of the ovary. So it is called as the rhipium. Then ovary wall, ovules are there. Then stamens are inside the floral hole, so it is called as the intros, you see on the left side. Then there is having the stigma, it is the bilobed stigma is there. And in the some, the stamens are outside of the this floral hole, it is called as the estrous condition. On the right hand side you are observing floral diagram. So as per the arrangement of the sepals and petals, they are shown here. So outermost green, these are the sepals. So estivation arrangement is different, already we are observing the estivation. So as it shows the types, then we will see about this diagram. Okay, so this is a good example of brassica, that is in Marathi it is called as the mohri. Then second example, in the form of the corollas are there. So some forms, infundibuliform corolla, in the ipomia or the dhatura, they shows the funnel shaped corolla. Here you are observing 2-3 photographs of this one. So then ixora is there, salver shaped, it is called as a salver, that is the tube is straight and the only upper part is expanded, so it is showing. Then campanulate type of the corolla, so broad bell shaped corolla is there. Then in gamopetalous condition, the regular forms, as already we are observing in the sunflower, disflorates are there. Then hippocrateriform, in the this second example, hippocrateriform, that is the in Marathi sadapuli, vinca rosea or catharanthus. Infundibuliform, it is a good example of tutura. Then rotate in the solanum xanthocarpum, रानवांग म्हणतो आपण. Then campanulate in the sum, they join at the base. Then ureolate, so it also shows the only expanded part. So like this, all these types are there. Then ligulate type, bilabiate type, and the personate type of the corolla. Bilabiate means there are the two lips are there, upper and the lower, 3 and the plus 2, like this one. Then most important part in relation to calyx and corolla is their sepals or petals, their arrangement in the floral bud condition. So there are mainly these four types: valvate, twisted, imbricate, and one is there quincunxal, right, and vexillary. So you see these are the five types are there. First one, you see the how is the flower and its arrangement. On lower side TS is there. So this is the showing condition of the sepals and the petals. So the first type is the valvate. So the sepals are just touch to the each other. Second type twisted. One end is inside, one is outside. You observe clearly of the each sepal or the petal. So one end is inside, one is outside. So like this arrangement. Third one, C, it is showing the imbricate. So one is totally inside sepal or petal, one is the totally outside, and three are alternating. So it is called as the imbricate. Then quincunxal, here two are inside, two are outside, and one is the alternating. So this is the D diagram. And in this last one, vexillary, it is commonly seen in the peas, or like this one, beans are there. So here one is the standard larger, inside to these two wings, and inside to two, these are the kills. So like this five number is there for the sepals and the petals, or four number is there. So based on this this arrangement is commonly called as the estivation. So arrangement of the sepals and petals on the thalamus. The valvate, here we will see the each and every one. So sepals or petals in a hole just touch to one another at the margin without overlapping. So it is the good example. Then second, twisted, the appendage, they shows overlap to the each other, right, to the next one. Then third, imbricate, we have seen. So the sepals or petals overlap one another but not in any particular direction. Cassia, third, or the others. Cassia fistula, other example, bhava, it shows. And our auxiliary good example, here you are observing the clitoria, that is Gokarna, Keva in Sesbania, this type of the Papilionaceous corolla. Generally, it shows this condition. Standard, one standard, largest, overlaps two lateral wings, and in under inside to the smallest anterior kill, KLL. So this is all about the sepals and the petals, calyx and corolla. Then secondly, androecium. It is the male reproductive organ composed of stamens, and it shows the anther and the filament. So anther attached to the filament, right. Then there are the each anther shows the bilobed structure. It shows the pollen chambers, right. So pollen grains are produced inside to it. The filament is a sterile part, and it is the showing the adhesion, that is the attachment to the anther by the filament. As it is to be, there is in some canna like examples are there. So it shows the sterile stamen, it is called as the stamino. In the adhesion, the conditions are there, how their attachment. So epipetallus, that is stamens attached to petals. Epiphyllus, stamens attached to tepals. Phylus word generally used in the perianth condition. Then polyandrous means stamens are free. Then they may be united. So there are certain conditions. Monoadalpous, good example, hibiscus. Here monoadalpous, on the one stalk staminal tube is there. Diadalpous, 2 plus 2, 2 are the shorter, 2 are the longer, like this one. Then there are the polyadalpous, 9 plus 1. So in the diadalpous condition, you refer the united, the filaments. So here this first condition is there. So two stamens are in polyadalpous, 9 plus 1. Diadalpous, 2 plus 2, right. So adalpy means the adhesion, as it shows the different groups are there, right? Then stamen arrangement, didynamous. Here you are observing two are smaller, two are the larger. Then fasciated, so they are the spread attached at the base. Then tetradynamous, two are shorter, four are the longer. Tetra means four, di means two. So remember this part. Then nextly here there are the stamens, generally one of the member whole, as it is to be a male reproductive organ, and it shows the position. It is a third hole, outermost calyx, corolla, then androecium and gynoecium. So this position already we are knowing this diagram. Each stamen consists of filament, and this filament it shows the different types. So already we have seen about the tetradynamous condition. Two are the shorter, two are the longer. Then monoidalpus, our good example, it is the hibiscus. You see left hand photograph. So or the it is magnified portion of the stamens united by the filament into a one column onto one. So hibiscus is the good example. Then androecial types are there. So here diadalpus condition, di means two, these are magnified specifically, one is free, nine are together. Then monoidalpus, on the one there is a tube, and on this all stamens are there. And syngenesis means what? Here observe here, filaments are free, anthers are fused, right? Filaments are free, anthers are fused. Remember the proper word, syngenesis, right? Then as the in flower elongation, we are knowing about the types. So corona in some word is used. So in the some anthophore and the internode between the calyx and corolla, it is called as anthophore. It is commonly seen in the some examples. So there is a stalk is there. So in between calyx and corolla, it develops a stalk. Here you see the right hand side photograph. Here at the base anthophore level is there. Then androphore means what? Internode between the corolla and androecium. It is called as androphore. You see this diagram in some example. So these terms are also important: anthophore, androphore. Then gynandrophore, or this one. I think all you are knowing the examples like our Krishna Kamal in this one. So here you are observing there are the three parts are there. Androphore also there, gynophore also there, and corona. That is the stamens fused with the petals, and only there is the formation of the anthers develop into the pollinia, right? So specifically in some they are the anthers are observing. So in the androphore and gynophore both conditions are found in the same. So it is called as the gynandrophore or androgynophore condition, right? So remember these proper words are there. Then about the carpel. So one member of the whole of the female or the sex part is there collectively. So the carpel make up the gynoecium. So carpel part is there. Style, stigma, and the ovary are the parts of this carpel. Here you are observing there is having the example male apple is there. So carpel conditions are the different. Then narcissus flower is there. It shows the style, stigma, and the ovary. Then carpel inserted about the ovary stamens. So ovary and the receptacle is there. So it consists of typical condition. Then stigma also showing it is the apex part of the carpel, and it is a receptive for the pollen in the process of fertilization. In types of carpels, apocarpus. Apo means free carpels. I think good example crassula. This photograph is there. But other example our apocarpus condition, grapes are there. We are knowing the grapes are in bunch, okay, or the ॲट्रेबॉट्रिस दॅट इज हिरवा चाफा किंवा चाफ्याचे फ्रूट्स तुम्ही पाहिले असतील. सो व्हॉट इज द कार्पेल डेफिनेशन ऑफ फ्रूट? इट इज नथिंग बट it is fertilized matured ovary. So it shows position of the ovary position. So apo means free. You observe here apocarpus condition. So ovaries are free, right? So then there is a magnolia. This just I am discussing. In magnolia म्हणजे चाफा, right? So free carpels are there. This condition. Then our common syncarpus condition. Maximum condition syncarpus is there. So gynoecium with many fused carpels but ovary looking one. Sax fraga, it is the good example one, or other examples are there. Here there are the two bilocular is there. So two carpels are fused but ovary observing one. Then nextly there is a monocarpus single. Generally carpels commonly seen in the some this condition, right? Monocarpus. So it shows the basal or the marginal in basal placentation, right? Then unicarpellate gynoecium, only one. Hypanthium, or there is having the prunus is there. Prunus mexicana. Prunus म्हणजे आपण त्याला अननस म्हणतो. So these flowers show the simple pistil is there. Then based on ovary position, hypogynous condition, all floral parts, calyx, corolla, and rhocium develop below the ovary. It is called as the hypogynous, right? All floral parts develop below the ovary. It is called as hypogynous. You see here the good photograph condition. We are observing the ilex of flower, sepal, then short stamen and petals, all developing ovary. Ovary part is the above superior. It is this condition is the superior ovary. Then nextly here you are also observing the superior ovary in the ilex of the flower. Okay, so nextly there is having the perigynous condition. Peri means it is not above, not below the ovary. It is middle position at the top of ovary. So it is called as the perigynous or middle position, right? So in the some examples I think in the Goa, Peru त्याच्यामध्ये असते. आणि नेक्स्ट वन इज द इपिगायनस. इपिगायनस कंडिशन म्हणजे all floral parts develop above the ovary. You see here the position part magnified is shown, right? So sepals, petals are above the ovary, or you observe in this flower, right? So flower it is the piscalis, मधुमालती मराठीत म्हणतो आपण त्याला. So these different flower conditions are there, hypogynous, epigynous. Then bracts and bracteoles are there. I think you are knowing the our coriandrum, कोथिंबीर आपण म्हणतो coriandrum. So it shows the such type of inflorescence, compound corym type, umbel type of the inflorescence. So compound means branched. So here it shows involucre or the groups are there. Then in relation to gynoecium, depending on this hypanthium or these conditions are there, gynoecium. So it shows the hypogynous, epigynous and the perigynous. So in the sunflower inferior, and then it is called as the inferior or the superior. Then for apocarpus and syncarpus condition, you observe these photographs. So apocarpus means many free carpels are there, right? And here you observe the TS of the ovary, syncarpus. So TS of ovary shows the bilocular, trilocular, tetralocular, right? So why it is there? Because there is a fusion of the carpels at the base in the ovary. So it forms a up to pentalocular, right? So these are the good examples of TS of ovary. Then after the ovary development, there is the one part is there. It is called as the placentation. So arrangement of ovules on the this placenta, that is the central part. It is called as the arrangement of it is called as the placentation. So mainly there are three types: parietal, basal, precentral. Parietal means, you see, this is the P is the good example. Sorry, marginal placentation. So placenta is at the margin, on which the ovules are arranged. Then axial placentation means placenta is at the center and ovules are attached to this. Parietal good example our cucumber, kakdi, right? So here the many placenta are at the margin, but more than one. You see the diagrammatic and you see the photograph. So this is the third type, parietal. Then free central, the example, there is no any partition, but center is free, so it is called as a free central. Good example, dianthus or the primrose flowers are there, so free central. And lastly, there is a basal. Basal means placenta is at the base. So here you are observing only one placenta is there. So all these are the main placentation types are there, four, right? Basal placentation, marginal, then second one axial, third one parietal, and then free central placentation, right? So all these types they are showing. You see the last of these two diagrams, these are showing the basal and the apical placentation, right? So remember this one. So these are all again placentation types are there for your observation. Okay, so you see the parietal placentation, axial, free central, then there is a connate type of the carpels and the in the syncarpus condition. So this is all about our today's lecture. Remaining part we will see in the next lecture. Okay, thanks to all. Good day.